you guys, it's Rachel here with Senza Tempo Cane Corso. So I can't have a lot of dogs out because we're doing, I'm having a deck built in the back. And, but I decided that I would do an update on Blondie, who's taking a Duke. And we got Preacher out here. Preacher man, Preacher Junior. Hello. Hello, sweet boy. Hello, sweet boy. Who's a sweet man? Who's a sweet man? He's a sweet man. He's a sweet man. What you got on you? Some kind of white powder or something. I don't know.
He loves his mama.
Sweet boy. Sweet boy. Sweet man. Sweet man.
Blondie.
Sweet man. So we got Blondie out here. And I saw in the comment section that somebody said that whenever I zoom out, the volume goes down. So if that's the case, I'm trying to speak up a bit for y'all. What is biting me on the foot?
Blondie.
Oops, sorry. So as you can see, Blondie, come here. Blondie, get out of there. Come on, let's go. Blondie. She ain't deaf. So anyway, as you can see, she's fine. She's not limping, but she was. And the only reason she's not is because I got her weight back down. You stay over here, Blondie. Good girl. Sweet baby. Are you going to throw up? Because she was eating grass. I saw her. So yeah, she was limping. And in fact, it was so bad she didn't even want to use that leg. And I figured that it was a good opportunity to kind of talk to y'all about this kind of stuff. So ultimately, if you look at any studies on hip dysplasia, they will tell you that like almost 90% of cases will get better with weight loss, because a lot of dogs really don't have severe hip dysplasia. So like, for example, Kubrick had severe hip dysplasia in one hip. Didn't matter what you did, didn't matter what weight you kept him at, he was going to limp regardless. Blondie, on the other hand, has lived her entire life jumping, playing, doing all kinds of stuff, even carrying big litters for me without issue, until she got older and she got obese. She's always had an appetite, a crazy appetite, and she's always had a lower metabolism. And so these things combined create for a dog that ultimately you have to really watch and is prone to weight gain. And anyway, when Savannah came back, I was kind of helping her to get on her feet financially. So she was helping me out feeding the dogs, and she gave her too much. And then she was out there raiding the barn, getting chicken eggs. And ultimately, in literally a week, she ballooned into a really, really overweight size. So then I took over. Now, people have asked me how I got her weight down. And a lot of people aren't capable of this because their hearts won't let them. But I fast my dogs. So what I did with her is I did 1 day of no eating, 1 day of very little food. 1 day of no eating, 1 day of very little food. And it's drastic, but the way that I see it is that her being hungry in the realm of things that can hurt her is much less than her hip being really problematic. And so for me, I would rather minimize the amount of damage done to that hip joint by that extra weight than, worry about her who, really and truthfully has overindulged. Blondie, psh, get out of it. She's over here eating grass. So she's still not, as you can see, she's still not like a overly skinny dog or anything like that. But she is at a healthier weight. And because of that, she's no longer limping. And she hasn't limped for a couple days now. Maybe a week now. I don't know. How long has it been since she limped? Yeah, about a week now. Now, there's no way I'm going to have her out with the rest of the pack running around like crazy. because there's probably still some inflammation in there, even though you can't tell because she's not, walking funny or anything. And so it's always really important to me for my dogs to be at the best health that they can possibly be. And getting her weight down was very, very important for me. And it's still not down. So you can kind of see that's the one on the far side there. That's the one that's kind of giving her trouble. And you can, so anyway, so for me, she still has some weight loss to go. I do want her to be at a much lower weight than what she is currently at. Not like a much lower weight, but you can't even see any ribs on her. And you really should be able to see, sweet baby. You really should be able to see the first couple ribs anyway. Sweet baby. I know. I know.
She used to just
sweetie. And she is getting older, but she's always kind of kept a lot of weight on her. Like that's just how her body is. And I identify with that because that's how my body is.
She's got
yeah, like I've always been the type to be thicker than my peers.
What?
And it's easy for me to put on weight, hard for me to get it off. And I will gain weight a lot faster than somebody else. So it just is the way it is. We're not all different. I think it's funny how in society a lot of people recognize that there are fast metabolisms, people that can eat anything and not put on a pound, but society doesn't want to acknowledge the fact that the opposite is also true, that there are people that don't eat a lot and their body
we only eat like once a day.
Yeah, and their body doesn't want to lose weight and wants to put it on. And I've often said that, if it was like end times, if we were like cavemen, it would be great because I would be able to survive really well off of very little food, and that would be fantastic.
Blondie.
But that's not the world we live in. Don't make her run. So, she's fine. As you can see, she's not limping. She can move well. And let this be a lesson to anyone who, has a dog that has a hip that may not be the best. Or, really she's lucky that she does have one really good hip and then she's got one that's loose. Now, whenever we had her hip tested, there was no dysplasia in there at all. And so it was just a loose hip joint. And that's really something to think about because that's one of the reasons why pen hip will not fail a dog, simply because they have a loose hip. Because loose hips do not guarantee that a dog is going to have hip dysplasia. Now, I do think that it increases the chances of that if you don't take good care of the dog as far as keeping their weight down and stuff like that. And I do think that as she ages, she's like 6, probably 6.5 years old now. And these are big dogs. So it's important to realize that Corso, it's very rare for Corso to live to 12 to 13, things like that. Even 10 years old is a lot for a Corso. I don't know why small dogs live so, but I'm gonna be real with you. Sometimes I'll be looking at small dogs and I'll be like, I don't, it's like, it's not to their benefit. You know what I mean?
Chihuahuas, they always live to like 14.
Yeah. Like they'll have tumors hanging off of them and everything's wrong with them and they're blind and they don't want to be touched and they can't hear and they can't see and they're still alive, still kicking. But these big dogs, man, they don't last like that. So that's important to keep in mind. Now, what I think is going on. Oh. No, don't you dare try to go over there to that coop. What I think is going on with big dogs is that extra large breed dogs go through accelerated growth whenever they are younger. And that can be even made worse by feeding them too much or feeding them an incorrect food. It can even you can go through really accelerated growth. But what they have found is that regardless, even a healthy growth, XL breeds go through an accelerated growth period. And I think that what that does is it's like an accelerated aging. So these small dogs don't go through that. And I think that they get to live longer because of that. So the bigger they are, it's like you're shaving off some of their overall lifespan by having them be these really big dogs. That's my theory. Don't know if it's true or not, but that's my theory. But either way, you know, y'all didn't get to see her limping. I don't know why. I just didn't really feel that it was important to film that, but I can tell you that she was. I could tell you that she literally didn't even want to use the hip. And now she's fine. She's walking around. As you saw, she gaited earlier, like trotted up to Savannah. And so it's not the end of the world if you have a dog that is limping, but it's super, super important that you keep your weight down on your dogs. I know a lot of people have a hard time with that. They think it's, you know, cute and all this stuff. And all I'm telling you is that you can end up causing a lot of damage to your dog. You can literally cause them to have to be put down, and it's just not fair to them. You know what I mean? So anyway, sweet baby Blondie. So you can see here, you want to see a waist. So see with her, my shoe almost came off. You're all right, good girl. So you can see here her rib cage, and then you can see how she actually has a waist. Ideally, that waist would actually come in here too. It would cut into the right here, but she's still got some weight to lose. Not all dogs carry their weight here. You can see here she's got some fat here. She's the kind of dog that carries the weight all over her. You sweet baby. So there's still more to lose, and we got to get that done. And I'll keep working with her on that. But in the meantime, she's doing a lot better. We got enough off to where it's not causing her any pain or any symptoms anymore. But for her long-term health, it's really important that we keep her at the minimum weight that is healthy for her. Sweet baby. Sweet baby. Because we want Blondie around as long as possible. And, and you know, she doesn't have the judgment to know what she should or shouldn't be doing or how big she should be. You know what I mean? So it's an important thing to think about. Let me try to zoom out here. Hold on. Doop, doop, doop. There we go. So anyway, just keep that in mind that, you know, I've had people, anytime I have somebody tell me that they had to put their dog down from hip dysplasia, I'm always, you know, cautious because more often than not, it's a weight issue is what I'll tell you, because you can have less than perfect hips and you can make it just fine so long as that dog's weight is kept in check. It's in the realm of hip dysplasia, it has to be really bad, it has to be severe for them to be symptomatic, even with their weight being good, like Kubrick.
I don't think we ever taught her to sit. Sit.
Mm-mm.
Can you sit?
Woman, why are you? She don't know what you mean.
Looking at you like, what is she saying? Sit, Blondie, sit.
We don't teach all of our dogs that stuff. For the most part, it's wholly unnecessary for us since our dogs are not typically going out in public. And when they do, we're usually training a dog for show, and you don't want a dog sitting in the ring. So anyway, just wanted to do that quick video for y'all. I'm gonna get her inside. We've been resting her. Another thing is to keep their nails cut. That's another good thing. She needs her nails cut, but that helps as well. So all of those things together are really going to be super important. But keep the weight down, keep the nails cut, and feed the appropriate food. A really good food to help your dog lose weight if you're having a hard time is Gentle Giants. It's a really good food, and you know, it's very low calorie. So I highly recommend it for a dog that needs to be on a weight loss and you don't want to feel bad by feeding them an incredibly small amount. So anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Sweet baby. Boo, boo, boo. Boo, boo, boo. You say bye-bye, Blondie? You just say bye-bye? Boo, 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 Blondie. Boo, boo, boo. Boo, boo, boo. Boo, boo, boo. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Boop. You're a good girl. You boop the nose, the boop. And the boop. Yeah, sweet baby. You hungry? You hungry? Is it time to eat? Oh, Lord. Oh, preacher, about to get in trouble. You hungry? You ready to go? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Anyway, alrighty, I'm gonna let y'all go. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.